Philly F.A.M.E. Philly F.A.M.E.
Yo, it's Chinko Da Great, SRT, Chink, Traffic Boy Chink. You tuned in to Philly F.A.M.E. TV, man.
Alright, man. Chinko Da Great, man.
Yo.
Couple people been asking for you, man. You know what I mean? So it's
Shout out to them.
yeah, man. So we had to get you on here, man. So you know, Chink, we go back, man, before rapping and all of that. Know what I mean? A lot of people might not know that, but I remember you when I was a young boy. You know, back when we was living down Logan. Shout out to the whole Logan Valley, 18th in the bucket and all that. Yeah, you know, I'm a young boy, man. Going to a little deli joint. I mean, remember the deli and all that. Go get a little platter. And you were there, I mean, freestyling. I remember the part of the freestyle. I mean, like, I mean, you was killing that shit back then. So I remember you talking that talk since way back then, bro. Like before you was Chinko, you was China Black and all that. Like, so let's get on the rundown, son. I ain't never know. Like I said, I knew you back then, but I ain't know like what made you start rapping. Cause you was one of the first people that me and Face knew that rap. Know what I mean? So what made you start getting out there and getting busy and all that?
My influence came from, you know, the early stages of hip hop. Early rap, Big Daddy Kane and stuff like that. Cool G raps. I used to steal tapes from Black De Niro and my uncles back in the day. So Mobb Deep and all that shit. And you know, I grew up around it, and that was in me. So that's what made me start going to school. I started in school. We used to rap at the tables and shit. Ever since then it's been that, but like, yeah, early hip hop that influenced me heavy.
Alright, I'm gonna tell this other story back then too that you probably don't even remember.
What's that?
I mean, I remember coming from school, you know, Broad Nolly, when everybody's coming, you know, the Broad Nolly used to be popping, like that shit used to be popping out there.
That was the depot for all the schools in the city to meet up. South Philly, West Philly, niggas be coming from down north and South Philly to meet at Broad Nolly.
Right.
I remember that shit.
Right. And y'all was out there freestyling. Man. And some boy using a little cipher or whatever. And some boy had said some old cool shit. And you had said something bad. And he ain't like it. And you cleaned him the fuck up right there, bro. I was like, yo, this nigga crazy, man.
I had a couple of them joints.
Yeah, right. So that was
I think I know which one you talking about, though.
That was a minute ago, bro. I was in middle school at this time, bro.
I'm gonna tell you about that story. That's crazy because somebody threw something at him. He said somebody threw something at him, French fry something, and hit him or not. He was pissed. A lot of girls was up there. He seen it. And he tried to G off on me. I don't know why, but I wasn't never the one for that. I just cleaned him up. His head actually, like he folded when I hit him or whatnot. But long story short, after I folded him, years passed, like 10 years, 8 years passed. I get locked up. I get booked, so I'm booked. I get booked on some traffic court shit. They keep me. So I fall asleep in the back now in the traffic court and they cuff you to the bench. So I'm cuffed to the bench. I'm knelt. Probably about an hour or two. Maybe less. Bull come in, right? Sheriff come in. And when the sheriff come in, I don't open my eyes because he don't say nothing to me. Shut the door, boom. I just happen to lean up and open my eyes. It's this nigga. The boy I knocked out off Broad Nolly, man. And I was asleep next to him the whole time. And when I woke up, he was just looking at me. You better than me, cuz I'd have cleaned you the fuck up, man. You sitting there staring at me. So when I woke up, the nigga was like, what's up, yo? What's up?
So he remembered you, right? He remembered you?
Fuck yeah, he remembered me. I knew him, like, from before when I knocked him out, I knew him. But
all right, so you already knew, boy. I ain't know that. Yeah, I ain't know that.
They used to be up there, so I don't even know why he acted like that. But I woke up, and he looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm in a state of like, what the fuck? How I get cuffed next to this nigga? And the whole energy was different. The motherfucker didn't even have no type of ill will or nothing. He was on some, damn, I see you doing your thing, you're killing it, this, that, and the third, keep doing your thing. And I'm throwing through a loop like, I'd have slapped the shit out of me while I was asleep, though.
Yeah, that's funny as shit, man. Alright, so then I remember this too, but used to rap with a group. I don't know if this was the first group you was rapping with, but I remember y'all put out either it was I don't know if it was, because this was back in the day, so I don't know if it was a tape or if it was a CD. But y'all had put out a project, True Action. And I remember that shit, because that shit was, I mean,
Ant Mac, man, I ain't talking.
Yeah, Bull Got Life. I think Bull Got Life. I remember him. Yeah, shout out to him.
Body out Johnston.
Yeah, shout out to Bull. I definitely remember him, man. Yeah.
That shit
So
crazy.
y'all put out a little, was it a mixtape, right? It was something. Yeah, that shit was pop. You know, I mean, I definitely had my hands on it. I used to listen to that. Know what I mean? And then after that, I had seen you at Goddamn with Sandman and Candace. So I was like, damn, I didn't even know how that happened. So, you know what I mean, give him the rundown, like how you end up, because this at the time when Sandman was Bull, and I mean in the city, like he had a nice little wave, and Candace had a wave. So how you end up in that situation? You know what I mean?
That came about when I moved down. Well, you know, I was living on 17th Street on the other side. And my mom moved over to the other side, and I was like 17, 18. My mom moved over to Warnock Street on the east side and shit. So I was over there for a minute. And when I moved over there, to the for Major Figures, he had Sandman at the time. This before the deal and everything came with Sam. So Tudor had him, and when I moved over there, Tudor see me rap a couple of times. I battled a couple niggas back there like G-Ball and who else? Who else was back there? There's a couple names I forgot, but I battled him back there. Tudor always wanted to wing me, always wanted me to be a part of whatever he had going on. Like, come on, man, come fuck with us. And I was just on some shit like, you know, I wasn't, my head wasn't screwed on straight at the time. So I started fucking with Sandman on a just, you know, on the music tip. He was from up Germantown, he moved down local. So I fucked with him on the music tip. Then the old Molly, which is my old head, he started backing Sandman, you know. And Toot said at the time, you know, I got the figures, I got Gil, I can't hold all this. So he passed him off to his man O'Malley, they good homie. So they came to me and they told me like, yo man, we about to start this group called the Cannons, man. We want you to be a part of it. And this at the time when, you know, Truett wasn't what it was no more, because niggas was in jail, Chubbs went to jail, Mac went out of town. So I was just doing my thing on that tip, and then I fucked with Sam on that. That's how we got together. He moved back Logan. I was already in Logan. And I was already, you know, killing it on the rap tip. So that's how we linked up on that tape time. A lot of shit went down through that though. Through that Cannon shit, man. Like a lot of shit. Cause I'm talking about deals being turned down, opportunities being crushed, man. A lot of shit, man. A lot of shit, man. I got a lot of stories. Anything you wanna know about that, we gonna need some tape. You understand what I'm saying? But that situation was crazy. I got one classic one for you. Because we were supposed to been on with the Cannons as a group, because at the time we was running the city, it was just, you know, Major Figures. Don't get me wrong, it was other niggas out there, but it was as far as like big groups, the Figures at that time, besides Ram Squad, I think. I don't even think that was running around the same time, but when we had Corrupt come to the hood, Corrupt from Death Row.
He originally from Philly, right?
Yeah. Corrupt. He originally from out here, so he come through. When he come through, he get the connection with Sandman. Now, him and Sandman been fucking with each other, talking and whatnot. So he come out, he fly out. He listen to the CD, he fuck with the whole gang. So when he come out, he out here for about a week, maybe two, chilling with us, kicking it with us. I done had him at my grandma's crib. He went to weddings with us, bars, parties. He on the block, crib walking, all that shit. So he felt, you know, right at home. He was fucking with us. He get back to the city. He tell us, man, listen, as soon as I touch back down to Cali, you know, I'm gonna call Big Homie. Talking about Suge Knight or whatnot. I told him about y'all. So at this time, we sitting around, you know, we at Sand Crib. And we just, you know, riding the wave. Every studio session, every party, every cycle, we mobbing. We get the little wave popping, and Corrupt finally touched back down. As soon as he touched back down, he chirped back. We all sitting in the crib. 30, probably more than that. Wiz P, Rizzle, and they can all test us. They can all, if I'm lying, you know what you can do if I'm lying, but we sitting on the joint in the crib, and he's playing Madden. We all playing Madden. This was Madden 04, 05. I don't even remember what year, but it came out. We get a chirp through the chirp. It's Corrupt. Yo, what's up? He like, yo, I touched back down. I'm back in the city. That big homie right here. Shug chirping. Bloop. Hey, what's going on with y'all, man? I'm feeling y'all movement. Y'all doing y'all thing, man. I'm gonna make y'all Death Row East. You know, we youngin' at the time. We young and rowdy and fucked up in the hood. So we excited. Like, we jumping up and down. Clapping. Yeah, we did it. So as he talking to him, he telling him he gonna fly us out. Yada yada, you know the whole shebang. So we like, bet, yes. So saying, he chirped back in. And then when he chirped back in, he said, alright, bet, I'm feeling it, that's what's up. But I got one question for you before we go any further in this business venture. You had anything to do with my man Big getting killed? Right. It was how silence the whole room was. We all looked at this nigga. That motherfucker hit the chirp back. Shit was over. We ain't talked to motherfucker Shug or Death Row or Corrupt since. And that was one of a nice opportunity we worked for, and it got flushed down the toilet over something stupid. Like, we should have been on as a group, as a gang, individually, whatever. We got like, there's a whole lot of shit with that Cannon shit, man. There was a whole lot of ups and downs with it, man. There's no hard feelings to none of them dudes, neither. All saying, like, me and Saying still speak, we cool. That was just some shit we went through, you know what I mean? And it was, at that time, that shit was definitely out of vibe.
So, did y'all ever get any other opportunities after that? Or was that like the big
That was one of the biggest right there at the time. We had, you know, he actually got into an argument with Loud Pack P about, you know, he was arguing about something. We laugh about it now. But he was going back, he said, you don't know how many deals I turned down for y'all. And that was another thing that had rubbed us wrong. We like, what? But you know, he was believing in the brand, and he was trying to sell the brand for more than what people was offering. But we was on the time like, nigga, we fucked up. Take a fucking bag and we gonna make it happen when we get in there, you know what I mean? And he was on some shit like, man, we worth this, we need this, we need that. He wasn't trying to kick that out at the time, taking this break and chase this paper and all. So they was giving out, so you know, that shit ain't go right. We had a situation, me individually, I had a couple situations with Select Records at the time. They're an independent group. I forgot these other guys. There was some independent guys that tried to get at me. I had my first shot when I was a kid. It was like 17, 16. And Flavor Unit came at me, Queen Latifah and all that shit. They was on my top. I was still in school at the time. I got hooked up with them through a competition site for whatever. And I come home from school and they got this motherfucker A&R in my crib with this fucked up contract trying to sign me for the rest of my life. And being as though I was fucked up not going to school and all that. My mom wasn't even with it from the gate. She's like, you can't even go to school, so I don't know how you gonna expect to get him to get some rap record deal. He don't even go to school. So she chopped that shit down. There's a lot of opportunities we had that we never closed out on. Charlie Mack had us lined up with some shit too. He's working with Charlie, shout out to him. We was doing some shit with him. There's a couple other people, you know, my memory ain't too strong, but.
No, we gonna get into some of the situations, bro. I'm just gonna speak from my perspective. Like I said, I know you folks, and I want to interview you from my perspective. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Like it's like cause you moved around and you went elsewhere, so there's a lot of stuff you was doing that I was seeing, but I ain't know like the story behind a lot of this stuff. So like the Cannon situation, like, cause like I said, y'all had a wave as a group. Like shout out to the whole Cannon clique. Like you say, oh y'all good now. So shout out to the whole team. Like I watched the wave. Like Cannon's definitely had a wave, and me seeing you be a part of that, I'm like, damn, Chinko doing this thing. Like it's crazy that I know him. I grew up. And then I see him on DVDs and doing things, and niggas know him, and people in the city showing him love. Like that was thorough from my perspective. Like damn, that's my folks. Like you know what I mean. So how you end up transitioning from the Cannon situation and then doing your own thing, like at one point in time. I mean, because once you start doing your own thing, I seen you still was. I mean, you made a lot of moves on your own. So speak on that transition. Like.
From the Cannons, we had split up. The group broke up, had they fall out, you know, and it was guys within the group that I linked up with that I was already in the, like, you know, it was the Trump unit inside the Cannons. We was the Trump unit, me, Loud Pack P, KOP, Lil Chick, you know, and we had from there we formed CDS, Crack the Seed. We started fucking with Wiz, brother Watts. He made all the beats and shit. We got like two, 3 CDs unreleased of that era and that time that we never even put out. I think I might let that shit go, man. But I went and did the CDS shit. We rocked out for a minute. Then from CDS we went straight to, what was the next venture I had at the CDS? YDLM. No, I went with Lightermouth. It was Lightermouth, that was the shit. Lightermouth was the clip. Like Lightermouth, like hot shit. Like that was the clip, and I started that. And I was running with that for some time. It was about the same rappers that I was fucking with from the beginning. You know? And I moved up. My mom moved up the east. And I had bumped into some guys up there I knew from the east, and I started another group. I merged groups with my little brother group and whatnot. It was YDLM. So it was Young and Deadly Loudmouths and whatnot. And from there, from YDLM, it's been just straight Chinko Da Great from there. I had a run with YDLM, a good run. Shout out to Dick, man. Shout out to him, good dude. Shout out to O'Malley. Had a good run with O'Malley too. You know, there's some good dudes, you know, and they put their time in and their money and they believed in me and they got behind me on some shit, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But from then, it's just been Chinko Da Great, man. Now I'm on this Traffic Boy shit. Shout out to the gang. They actually still the same niggas that I've been with. But you know, we just changed the name. Then jumped in a different lane with it. The shit's still grease. I still got the grease, though.
Alright. So, I want to rewind a little bit, bro, because something that just came to my mind. I want to ask you, Benz, though we going. I mean, I want to give him the story. I mean, I want to really get a little bit more into the story. So, like I said, I remember you as a youngin', you know, play ball. Know what I mean? You funny nigga, busting on niggas and all that, funny nigga and all that. Like I said, rumbling and all this shit. And at some point in time, you moved around, started getting in the mix in the streets. Know what I mean? To a degree, I don't know, because like I said, I wasn't around at the time. You was elsewhere doing your thing. Right. But what I'm gonna ask you, like I said, from a nigga that was playing ball, doing this thing as a regular guy, what made you take that route? Know what I mean? When you could have went the other way, because you had potential to do everything. So what made you decide to make that choice?
We was talking about that the other day, man, because growing up, man, I kind of like really did a little bit of everything. Like I played the ball, I was alright at ball, played football, I was alright at that. I could have boxed, I boxed at gyms, I was alright at that. Like, I don't know what made me. It was just, I'm gonna keep it a bean. It was the influence. The influence, the streets is definitely played a major influence in my life and the decisions I made. And you know, I'll take those Jones back, because I know I'd had like at least, I'd have been 13-year veteran, 13-year safety coming out of motherfucking Kansas City right now if I'd have played them cards right and some shit.
No, definitely, bro. So moving back forward a little bit, back to your transition from the Cannons, I remember hearing you on the radio and shit. I'm like, dang, this they got banging Chinko drum. Then I think Cosmic Cat was spinning it. Know what I mean?
What was it? You remember which one it was?
No, because you had a couple drums. That's what I'm saying. I'm just talking about one in particular time. It was a couple times I heard you, like, you was getting love on the radio at one point in time.
Oh, man.
You was working with celebrities, like you was getting co-signs from different celebrities. So speak on that. All that, like how all that came about and stuff.
I never really got to talk about this story, because I don't, you know, when shit happened, I handle it how we handle it, and then we take it from there. But I was getting major love from Cav at one point in time, and it was definitely all love. Like, I remember in the beginning, it was to the point where he just send it to me, just send it to me. I talked to him recently, and he still was on that too. But I had a fallout with Gillie Da Kid, and This was around the time Platinum Bam was on 8th and Shell. 8th and Shell. And then I did a show down, what's that club down there, 8th and, right there by the ID place, by the Penn Dot downtown. It's that club right there around the corner. On the corner, it's two of them back to back. I think it was Lux Lounge at the time. Right, Pinnacle and Lux Lounge it was. It was Pinnacle at the time. So I do the show. It's me, Gillie Da Kid, and Styles P on the bill. You know, I go on, then Gil went on, then Styles P went on. So at this time, boom, everything cool. We, you know, Gil coming to the crib, he playing the game with us every day. We go play ball, he was on the block with us. You know, he used to come up Logan a lot, because, you know, he was with the figures and all that. So we had a good relationship. And at this time, when I get to perform, it's time for me to go on. So I go to perform, and they give me the performance. As soon as I get on the motherfucking mic, mind you, this the DJ booth, that's Cav right behind me. I go to perform, Cav hand me a mic with it's like the cord on it like this. And this is the stage is like, you know what I'm saying? And this is the microphone. So I'm like, yo, it's my fucking mic. Like, what's up with this? What the cordless mics? I know y'all got cordless mic. That's Styles P in this motherfucker tonight. Kev, what's going on? Oh, I don't know what the mics. I ain't see the mics, Tank. Damn, you ain't see the mics. Ain't nobody see the mic? Oh, we ain't see the mic. The crowd, my people's in the crowd, there's people out there, fans. They like, man, fuck it, just perform. You don't even need the mic. Drop the mic. No, I gotta do my thing. I need this mic. My shit about it. Jake, what you gonna do? You got your time, baby. You got the. Fuck it, come on, let's go. He played my joint. I think it was Check My Temperature I had at the time. The joint he was playing on the radio. So I bomb, I do my thing, kick a freestyle, boom, bow, bow. The whole time I'm doing my shit, I'm pissed. I don't got no fucking cordless mic. I can't get into the crowd. You know what I'm saying, show? So I do my shit. After I do my shit, I drop the mic, I walk out the back. I'm back there flaming, cops. I'm talking about knocking niggas the fuck out as soon as they come off the stage. I'm looking for them. Who? Because after, this is why I say this. Because as soon as I finish rapping, niggas jump on the motherfucking stage with about 2-3 cordless mics. Fresh little black Jones with the little green light on the bottom and whatnot. Niggas walking around, hearing niggas rapping, they ain't even on stage. What the fuck? Well, some niggas had the mics on top. I'm hot, 38 hot, flaming. Yeah, I'm knocking Gil the fuck out as soon as he get off stage. That's what I say. I'm relaying that message. Yo, tell Gil, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out. Somebody played me. That's what happened. So, after the show, I'm backstage waiting. Me and P, a couple other guys. And, you know, I'm bad. I'm pissed. I'm waiting backstage. They never get off backstage. They don't come. He didn't come back. I guess he went through the front and went back to his out and left or whatever. I don't see him, so now I'm relaying the message to everybody. Yo, telling y'all see fucking him. Me and him got a problem. And he get word of it. He called me. You know we doing our shit. Bitch ass nigga, you bitch ass nigga, whatever nigga, where you at? I'm about to pull up, blah, blah, blah. We meet at the back here. We pull up, we see each other. I'm hot. He like, what's up? Nigga, you know what's up? No, I don't know what's up, nigga. Who you had them fucking mic? No, I ain't have. Yes, you did. Well, this what your problem is? Yeah, that's what my problem is, you know? And at the time, I was a young boy, so, you know, Gil made me say, he made me feel real childish. Like this is your beef? And I'm like, man, no, it ain't, nigga, y'all know what's up. Like, somebody played me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm on the tip, like, man, no, fuck that. You got to give me a rumble. Like, Gil, like, man, I ain't rumbling you, cuz. Man, I ain't trying to rumble you, cuz. You want some shit, like, you know what I mean? And I was a big young boy at the time, so he was on some, man, look, man, I ain't got time to be rumbling. You all too big. Can we get somebody my size? I'll knock your man the fuck out. He said, I'll knock Wiz the fuck out. I called Wiz up there. Wiz get up there, and they had, you know, they words and whatnot. My old head, he told me, you know, he was standing up there with my old head at that time. And, you know, like I said, we had a good relationship. We was like, you know, we was folks. So, you know, a rumble was warranted. It wouldn't have went no further than, you know what I'm saying, at that time. And, you know, him and Wiz had their words and whatnot. And, you know, they ironed it out. And it was another partial beef to that because it was going on about when Gil started at the time. Little Chick had used that attribute and called himself the KOP, the King of Pressure. So it was, you know, that was in the era that Gil had took that from. Supposedly took that from my man Chick at the time. And this is years ago. This is probably about at least 10, 12. If I ain't mistaken, longer. You know what I'm saying? Last time, when was Batcave Platinum bound on 8th and Shelton? What year was that?
That was a minute ago. I don't remember exactly when he moved.
This was, you know. So
that was a minute ago, yeah.
We reckless youngers, we dropped all these diss records on Gil and all these, they on YouTube too. Oh, we like 19, dissing Gillie Da Kid and shit. We was young and wild and whatnot. You know, but we ironed that out too. You know, me and Gil good folks too. We cool as motherfucking breeze to this day. But me and Gil would always argue behind scenes, and we never went public with it, cause you know that wasn't for that at the time. That's what we didn't never get into. Like me and Gil definitely had bumped heads a couple of times. You know, I remember me and Gil bumped heads up at the radio station when I had brought Floyd Mayweather to the city. And this was around the time we was you know, we was cool, but we wasn't. It was still the cocky thing with each other, like, fuck that nigga, that fuck me too, fuck me that, you know. We'll argue in the studio and stuff like that, shit like that. But it never went nowhere, you know. Me and Gil never fought, never went to the guns, nobody never pulled no guns out on each other. So it was like, cause you know, we had love for each other at the time, we still do. So that was just one of the stories about that with that shit right there. That shit was crazy, man.